It's Julia. Thank you so much, everyone who's joined me today. This has been just a really difficult week, I think, for all of us. Just so much turmoil going on in the world and in our nation, and hard to process. This is how I feel about it. I just did this little sketch. So this is a sketch to stitch tutorial. I do have this available for free on my blog. Anybody else who want to use this little design and put it on a project or make a notebook cover just like this, feel free. I'm going to have that link down below for you. Also, I want to let you know that all the measurements and how I've cut all the pieces for this. This is a notebook cover. That'll all be listed on my blog and also in the description down below, so you can check that out. Like I mentioned, it is a notebook cover and it fits a 5x7. It does have a little ribbon for a bookmark. I really like this 5x7 size, as it fits really nice into most purses and it's just comfortable in your hand. It can be adapted to a larger composition book just by cutting it bigger, and you can probably figure out how much larger you would need to make it. So I hope you join me today. Let's get started. Some of the supplies that I use is my printable. Like I said, that is on my blog. I use a double-faced Peltex. I'll have all these supplies listed down below. Using some scraps for the little appliques, and I also used a print that had a large flower on it. That is the flower that this little girl is holding. You're going to want an inner and an outer fabric. I used like a muslin, like it's a primitive colored muslin. You're going to need a print for some pockets, and I used Heat and Bond Light for my appliques. This is the composition book that I use. It's called the Junior Composition Book, and again, it's a 5x7. I'm also using a water-soluble Solvay. I use this just to help get my design on when I free motion stitch. First thing I'm going to do is with my Peltex is round the corners. Now again, all my dimensions and all my cutting instructions will be listed down below for you. This is the pocket. You have a long piece, and I fold that in half lengthwise, and then I'm just cutting it right down the middle, so I'll have two even pieces here for the pockets. And then folding it, and just will give this an iron. So these are the pockets, or what holds that book in place. Now to attach that Peltex, I am just getting it so that about a 1/2 inch is all the way around, and this is on the back side of that outer fabric. And then I'm just lightly ironing this, because this is a double-faced fusible, and I don't want it to stick to my ironing, or my ironing surface here. So I just lightly iron that just so it sticks to the front side, making a crease so I know what the middle is. And now I'm just tracing my little appliques. This is the hair. On my applique designs, I've already flipped those applique designs, so the orientation is correct. So you can just trace just as they are on this piece. Now this is my Heat and Bond Light, and I have the paper side up, so the sticky side or the adhesive is down. I'm just drew a little line there. Both the shoes and the hair I decided I'm going to do in brown. Now this is the little collar piece. I've decided at the end not to use this collar piece, and you'll see I add some lace there instead of putting another little applique or a collar on. And I'm only going to be adding the arms to this. I'm just going to be free motion stitching the legs on and the face on. But those arms, because they're on top of the dress, I do have to include those arms. Ironing those pieces now on the back side of the fabric. And now I will be fussy cutting right on the line. Now on my applique pieces, you'll notice some dotted lines. Those lines are the underneath. I just designate that with a dotted line. Here's those little arms, and I just put that on the same colored primitive muslin as my front piece. Here's that little piece of lace that I decided to add for my collar. And then I wanted to add some heat and bond light to the back side of some of these prints. Just wanted to use them for some fabric collages in with my design. I'm using my favorite pen. This is the Uniball pen to trace my little girl right on this water soluble. I've just found that this pen works really well for this material. This is like a plastic film. It really difficult to use like a ballpoint pen. It just doesn't mark on it. So I found this pen works really well for this. I'll have that link down below too if anyone is interested. I also use this for the detail, for the face. It is a waterproof pen, and it's really fine or tiny point on it, so I can get the detail quite well with it. I mean, this little face is really tiny, so it's easy to use with this pen. Just going to be doing some fiddling around here. I decided I'm going to put this print right down the spine of this notebook cover, just to add some color. I'm just going to run that same lace that's on the collar right down both sides of this. I'll just use a zigzag on that later on my machine. Just getting everything laid out, figuring out where I want my little doll to be. I'm going to be cutting out some of the flowers and just scattering some of these flowers around my design. I have in my head at this point what I want to do, but just wanted to get some of these cut out. And I decided on this bigger orange flower because it's going to be going on this pink dress, and I thought that orange would pop. I have just another piece of this muslin, and I'm just taking that heat and bond light off the back of it so I can see through it a little bit easier. And I'm just tracing these words right on this little piece of this primitive muslin. And again, using my Uniball pen for this. Just cutting that down to size. Removing all the paper to the back of those appliques. Getting that hair into place and just laying it underneath. And then fusing those into place. Just going to put a dot of glue on the back side of this just to keep it in until I get to my sewing machine. I do have questions on whether that glue gums up the needle. It does not, but you want to make sure that it's dry. You can even touch it with your iron to just get that process, or just get that glue dried a little bit quicker. Again, fusing everything into place, getting these little arms on now. I know, it's fiddly. This is just what I like to do. Just love creating with fabric and just laying out like a collage. Now adding those legs, I'm just taking a small part of this Solvay to my sewing machine so I can see exactly where I want to put those legs on. Just getting that positioned correctly. Now I have my feed dogs dropped and I have my free motion foot on. And I used, I believe I used a dark brown thread for this. And I'm just outlining right on that line just to draw those legs in. And then just outlining those shoes. Taking a moment now and just getting the big pieces of this salvie away. I don't no longer need it. I've got those legs drawn where I need them to be. Any of the little details of the pieces of that salvie I will remove with just a wet paper towel, and I show that later. It's really easy to remove the salvie. It's a great way to add a design to your and it's just the easiest way to transfer a design. Just going around, I like to go around my piece twice just to give it that sketchy look, and adding the face. I'm going back and forth on this little to make it look like a sign, almost like a wood kind of grain on it, and just going back and forth on that. And now I have my regular foot on and I'm zigzagging. I do have cream colored thread in at this point, just zigzagging that lace into place. And zigzagging the collar on as well. Just removing a little bit of that salvie that remained just with a wet paper towel in my iron. Now back with my Uniball pen, and I'm just tracing or just kind of using my pattern as a guide to get the eyes and the mouth on. A little bit of that pen remains, so I used my iron to remove it. That was a friction pen that I used. And decided to add some cheeks with my Arteza fabric marker. Now to finish my little booklet, I just used my bookmarker ribbon and laid that on right in the center there. And my pockets. Now this is my top of my, at this point, laying everything on the top of my notebook. Those pockets I've laid so the raw edges meet and the folds are towards the center. Marking an opening. You want to leave at least a 7-inch opening, as this is a little bit tricky to turn it with that bulky stabilizer. And now I am sewing all the way around this right next to that Peltex. I am not sewing through the Peltex. And then trimming close to my stitching. I do not trim my opening. I leave my opening with that 1/2 inch or so seam allowance, so it's easier to turn under. Getting my fingers in now and turning this through that opening and flipping those pockets to the inside, and then just ironing this opening closed. Such an easy way to make a little notebook cover. Just goes together so easily and so quick. Giving it one good iron, and now both that fusible Peltex will stick to both sides. Top stitched all the way around it, closing that opening, and then the little booklet just fits right inside. One more final press just to keep everything down. Thank you so much, everyone who's joined me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye for now.